Natasha, Keisha.
Hello.
Hello, it's working. Yes, yes. All right, we are all set. How you doing? Oh, Keisha, you got us two guests. Look at this. We
I
just
do. So this is Monica. Hi.
Monica. All right,
Familiar
we'll
with
talk to
Journey
you.
by Keisha? You're familiar with Monica.
All right, we're gonna talk to both of y'all while we're on here. So wonderful. Let me set us up, and then we're gonna launch right into this session of Entrepreneurship Matters. Let me say that we are in our 27th week of Entrepreneurship Matters, and you are two that I have been waiting to interview on this series. Um, we know that entrepreneurship takes undiluted passion, multiple failures, a lot of grit, and a long-term commitment to make it happen. And you are two that are making it happen in our city. And just so pleased to highlight you. This series, Entrepreneurship Matters, I always give a shout out to Camry Moses. She's a senior at Western High School. But she came up with the concept for this series to really inspire people by telling the stories of entrepreneurship through entrepreneurs. And so we're just so happy to have you. Let me give both of your amazing bios, which are 5 pages, but I'm going to shorten them right to the questions. So Berries by Keisha was founded in 2014. Keisha is a single mom of 3. She graduated summa cum laude from Morgan State University. Let me not get in trouble with the Morgan Bears. And really founded it after having a hard time finding a job. She, in order to generate some income, she sold chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day 2014. Shipped over 50 dozen strawberries. They opened the first location inside of the Best Western only 6 months after starting. We're going to talk about that. That is
Wow.
as uptick. And now she is a person that is up for every berry challenge.
That's right.
And she is here to help, whether it's your company's logo, a photo, something near and dear to you. She can make it on a chocolate covered strawberry. I know us at Hopkins, we love Keisha's berries. She is also a 10th Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business, and she is doing amazing. She has done chocolate covered strawberries for K. Michelle, Tiana Taylor, Ricky Smiley, Sinbad, Pandora, Under Armour, Amazon, Johns Hopkins, Nordstrom's, just to name a few. So we're pleased to have you here, Keisha. And Natasha Wainwright is what I dub, well, I think everyone dubs her, the Queen of Brittle. She previously founded and ran an eco-friendly daycare, Progress Planning Learning Center. And this business was conceived in the summer of 2009 as a part of a business fundamentals learning project for the children at her daycare. So, sometimes small ideas, big vision. She then, right after opening, presented and sold out of her brittle on QVC. And even though she sold out of her brittle on QVC, she didn't have a space or staff at that time to manufacture. She has blown up, literally. She was just added to the 2019 Visit Baltimore campaign. Her brittle comes in 37 flavors. She's appeared on won grants from the Pitch Room, hosted by the Sam's Adam Brewery. She's been a winner of the New Voice Fund. She's also was chosen to appear to audition for Shark Tank. She has appeared in a number of different things on television with celebrity judges and on BET's Queen Boss. So we are so pleased to have both of you in our city, but more importantly, to have you here today with us. So we're going to launch right into this discussion. And let me just say for everyone, these are 2 working women. They are in the shop. They are. So if something happens, somebody comes in, don't y'all act like they're not working women. They're not. they need to do what they need to do. So we adjust accordingly. So let me start out by talking about what inspired you to be an entrepreneur. And why don't I start with Keisha? Why don't I start with you? What's inspired you to want to go into entrepreneurship?
The truth is, I didn't want to. I feel like Berries by Keisha is my destiny, and it kind of came towards me. I never sought out to be an entrepreneur. As mentioned, I went to Morgan State University after having 3 children. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was really gearing my life towards corporate America and waiting on a job that I really, really, really wanted. I started making strawberries, and I literally had to make a decision because the contract came through. They called me back and they asked me that I still want the position that I've been waiting for forever. And at O'Donnell Street in the kitchen, dipping strawberries, I had to make a decision. Am I going to take this position that I've been waiting for months? Or am I going to focus on Berries by Keisha? And I made the decision to dip chocolate covered strawberries, and we are here today. So the truth is, I never sought out to be an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurship sought me out, and I went with it.
Wow. Wow. For all those people that talk about making plans, we can tell that you had a purpose that was different than the plans made.
Absolutely.
Yes. How about you, Natasha? What inspired you to go into entrepreneurship?
Okay, mine is not it's a little sad story. So when I was younger, I had contemplated suicide, and my grandmother literally stopped me in the process of doing so. And she told me that I was there for 3 reasons. One was to serve God, family, and community. And when I got older, I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I started my first business at 25. So I was self-employed at 25. I was a daycare provider, and that gave me my reason for serving God, family, and community. And that's why I'm here today, to serve. And I do it well. Yeah.
And what's your grandmother's name?
Her name was Martha Lee. She literally, when I say I was literally in the process. So it's a sad story. Nobody ever knew until the only person I told this story was my daughter. And I told the story to the family when my grandma passed in 2018. Nobody knew. But at that time, she started investing money from her Social Security check so that I could bake something monthly. So she would take a little bit of funds and I just say, here, go find something in the, come up with a recipe, go to the library. We had to go to the library back then. We didn't have the internet. So we had to go to the library, look up recipes, and I would make something for us once a month. And that just gave me like a peace, a solace. So I knew when I got older and with the daycare children, that's something I did with them. I started teaching them how to cook every Friday. They cooked in the daycare. So it was only natural. So when I went to teach them something in business, that's something we did. We had a baking business through the summer, and here I am today.
Now, both of you have just inspiring stories, and we're going to get deep into those stories. And I think it's affirming for people to hear, one, about your grandmother, right? Because some people sit in that position of being an inspiration, or your friends, Keisha, your family, and some sit in the position of having a dream and having a hope, or being at a hopeless point. But both of you are just, again, I can't stress it enough. So let me say, so people are taking out their pads, they're taking out their pens, and they're now about to take some notes. They want to know, how did you go from something in your head, something you were doing with your daycare kids, Keisha, something that you did for Valentine's Day to in 2014 to starting a business? And forgive me, what your co-partner right next to you, what's her name?
Monica.
All right, so Monica, you can always jump into the conversation as well. I'll make sure you become a part of this conversation as well. So
I'll chime in.
How did you go from idea to business? What were the steps you went through to start your business? I'll start with you, Keisha, and then we'll go to Natasha.
Well, like I said, I was making chocolate covered strawberries out of my home. My first lady at my church, she had a really good relationship with the GM at the Best Western. And she had a meeting with him, and she said, well, there's a young lady at my church who makes chocolate covered strawberries. And I saw this movie called Apple Pie Mortgage Cake, where the hotel actually brought someone in off the street and allowed them to use their kitchen. So she said to him, and I think you can do this for her. So mind you, I'm somewhere in my kitchen making chocolate covered strawberries, very unbothered, not thinking about changing it. I was comfortable. And so she said to me, she called me as soon as she left the hotel. She was like, look, I have an opportunity for you. I need you to go and meet with him. And so I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you're gonna do this. I saw it in a movie, he could do this for you. And so I took the initiative. I called him and I had a meeting with him, and he was like, oh, this is perfect. We're having a wedding expo, and I want you to come and set up. And at this time, I used to do decor too. So he's like, I want you to come and set up really pretty and make chocolate covered strawberries and sell them or give them away. I can't remember if we sold or give them away.
Gave them away.
Probably gave them
I
away.
wanted to sell them.
You probably did, right?
Monica's in the beginning. That's why she's sitting there. She part of this.
Yeah. She's been with me from the beginning of my life. She's my cousin, my older cousin. And so,
Nice.
So it's definitely a family business.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, my phone will ring the whole thing. Sorry. Okay. So after the event, he said to me, well, I want to have you here. I want to set up this space in the lobby of the hotel, and I want you to sell your chocolate covered strawberries. So I said to him, I thanked him for the offer, but I was very unsure because it was a big step for me, going from being a stay-at-home mom and, very, very, very entrenched into my children's lives. I just didn't know if I was ready. I said I needed to pray about it, and I did that. I did pray. And then I got a phone call from them saying that the Baltimore Comedy Factory had just signed a contract. And so I said, okay, thank you, Jesus. I'm going to take the leap. And so I did. So that was the beginning of Very Vacation. So that location came with some challenges.
Mm-hmm.
That location came with some challenges. We had to figure out the schedule because it's a hotel, and if you're familiar with the Best Western, it's not a lot of traffic there at all. But we were open 7 days a week, and so we finally made a decision just to open up on the weekends and literally shadow the Comedy Factory. And that was the best thing that we could have ever done. So of course now you're learning about the health department, you're learning about your taxes, you're learning about your insurances, and all of this at that time. My mom is an entrepreneur. My brother has been in business for a long time, but being in the food industry, the food side is a little bit different. So we kind of hit some learning curves. Mr. Paul Taylor from the SBA, he's my mentor, and I would go and literally feel like I'm jumping on his desk, look, why did I do this? It was just so much, but he really helped, and he said to me, Keisha, you have what it takes. And so when I hit those obstacles, and there were obstacles, I always had him to kind of help me along. So that was the beginning of Very Keisha. That was the steps that we took. I don't know. I think that was.
So I'm gonna summarize a couple of things. One of it sounds like a lot of stepping out on faith.
Absolutely.
A lot of people praying for you, getting you, even the Best Western, embarking upon that was a call from someone that really prayed about your business for you. Then you talked about the taxes, insurance, and mentorship. We're going to get to that at some point, because both of you, Natasha's about to embark upon the 10KSB program. You were in the 10KSB program. And so really thinking about learning as you continue to grow your business,
Right.
I think it's so vital. Natasha, tell me, how did you go from with the kiddos, with the brittle?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had known, I would have stopped by. But then you go to a business that is now a part of my community. I live in the same neighborhood where your business is. So how did you go from idea to what you're now doing?
Well, I was sort of kind of forced. Business was always in me, so that's what I was doing. But the summer project went from summer into the wintertime, where the parents was constantly asking me for brittle. And I'm like, that was during the summer. So, but all the parents, I had a daycare of 30 children.
Mhm.
And when I say all the parents, it got to the point where I would open up at 6 o'clock and it wasn't even a good morning. It was like, do you have any more brittle? That was the first thing that came out their mouth. So I said, I had to make this brittle. So it went from finding a commercial kitchen to work out of, and then finally given the opportunity to have like a small storefront at Wainwright grocery store. It's a family-owned grocery store in our area.
I love
Um,
Wainwright.
Yes, Sandy. I went to talk to Sandy and I said, I see an empty
Good
spot
people.
next to your bakery. Would you let me have this spot just to sell my candy? And she said, yes. And I did it for a year. So it was just making I was running two businesses, and it was running a business was just, that's what I do. So it wasn't really any type of transition. It was just trying to figure out how I was going to split my time from the daycare and at Wainwright. And truthfully, a lot of my daycare children, my older ones, they kind of helped with that. And that was it. That it was just, I'm not gonna say easy. It's just something that's what I do. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
and no, I think a couple of things to take away, and I know people are taking notes. One, you talked about how you asked another small business, and I know Wainwright's not a small business, like they have everything in that store, but they're
Right.
a local business
Mm-hmm.
supported you, which is I think a big
Right.
thing in
And that, oh
Baltimore.
my gosh.
People
And she was
supporting
so
one another.
receptive. She was so open. I mean,
Yeah.
and I went there expecting a no, but I was like, if I don't ask, I won't know. So I was
Mhm.
just like, hey, I need to see the owner of the Wainwright. And I just talked to her and I told her the advantages that it could bring her and what it would bring me. And we did it. And it was great.
That is
Keisha used to come up
phenomenal.
there and buy my pecan clusters all the time. Remember, Keisha?
And I was gonna say, do you remember when you called me and you asked me about Byright and how did I do it at the hotel? And I told you, I said, you can do it. Like, you have this, call me if you have any questions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it's not
Yes.
easy when you're getting your feet wet, but just to know, and I told her, I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm gonna come around there and I'm gonna purchase, and I did, and we would talk. But I was
She was
just
up there
so
buying
proud
my
of her.
pecan clusters.
I did all the time. I did all the time.
Beautiful. I know y'all buying each other stuff too.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord.
Excellent.
Yes.
Let me
Gotta
give
support.
let,
Our entrepreneurs.
let me give people a chance. I know there are a number of people who call in and they listen on the phone. You can text your questions in the 22333 and type JHUWL. You can also keep putting them in the chat. Y'all getting a lot of love on Facebook and social media right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So y'all keep it coming. I'm gonna make sure I get to all of your questions. Again, make sure you put them in 22333 and type JHUWL. Now, I'm gonna go back to Monica. I want you to talk about this too, because you've been there for the journey, the birth, the toddling, and now the walking and the running of the business. You and Keisha, what would you say is the greatest accomplishment you all have had thus far?
Not killing each other.
Not killing each. Hey,
The
now
other cousin is back there. My cousin is second in it too. She's like, that's right, that's right.
oh man,
I mean, seriously, probably the greatest accomplishment. I think what makes us unique is that we really are cousins. She's my younger cousin. So a lot of times when you have family business, it's the senior person that brings the young people in and mentors the young people. But in this particular case, it was the younger cousin. I came in to support her. She's my boss. And it has taken some real, true family love and prayer and just us growing. That probably is our largest accomplishment, is just learning the dynamics of running a business with family. And people say you can't do it. We beg to differ. You absolutely can do it.
Come on over here. Look,
Tell them. Tell them. That's right.
This is another cousin.
She does.
Okay, so
And
who's
my
this?
cousin as well. That's my cousin Joyce.
Yes.
She's
How you
in
doing?
her 70s and she
I'm
runs
75.
the shop. She's
Oh,
75.
yeah, that's a blessing.
Go ahead, Miss Joyce.
I didn't know she's 75.
And it's a lot of us. We're all cousins. So
Yeah, so that really is
That's
that's
awesome.
probably our biggest accomplishment.
Mhm.
That's huge. That's huge. And I know a number of people, they're starting out, and it's the family. And we talk about this. How do you build a business? And most people, every entrepreneur on here has talked about friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
The power of that in transforming their business. So huge kudos to y'all. The family affair, everybody gonna win when you win, right, Keisha? Everybody wins.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you, this is a little bit history, but as a child, I was like kind of like a problem child. And my mom reached out to all of them. I mean, my cousins have always been heavily entrenched into my life. So for me to be the woman that I am today and to just give them thanks, just for being there, for me, absolutely. I'm taking up, all of us. We all on this ride together. It's not just about Keisha, Monica, my cousin Joyce. Like, we are a family-run, family-owned business. And that has been, since I was a very young girl. And if this is my way to repay them, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I love the family affair, and I love the imagery of families supporting businesses. Phenomenal. I mean, Natasha has a story. I mean, her grandmother really was one of the she's still with you. I mean, she's one of the motivators in your business. But what's your accomplishment, Natasha? Tell us about which one of them.
I'm gonna piggyback on the same thing because mine is a family operated business as well. Myself and my daughter, and my daycare children. Believe it or not, they help with all the large orders. So I think my biggest accomplishment is when when God gave me the vision, I wrote it down, and I read it again about 2 weeks ago because I just wanted to see how far I've come. Because sometimes when you're in it, you don't feel like you're making that progress.
Yeah.
And when I looked at my business plan, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing something here. And I was just very happy. I was very happy with what I've accomplished so far. So we got some big things happening in the spring.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing when you can do it when you don't really see the dollar signs in front of you. We say, Father, how are we gonna get this done? And it happens, I'm like, I don't see where the money coming from, Lord, but it happens,
Yes.
so it happens through pitch competitions, through grants, through whatever he provides, it happens. And I'm ecstatic because now I've coming into 50 and coming into my 4th year here at Natasha's Just Brittle Be More Made with Pride. I'm really seeing the work that's been put in. I'm really starting to see that.
I mean, and people are loving this conversation. I'm loving it. I told you I was so excited to do this with you two. I knew this was going to be a special conversation. Let's talk about we're going to veer off of the questions I sent you because y'all just giving me so much fire. I can't resist. Both of you are big winners, and I think both of you are blessed because you just exude a good spirit. You really do. How are you able to find the opportunities that you have? And sometimes I think some of them are you. I mean, people talk about both of you and hold you in such high regard, but how are you here trying to find out how to you talk about pitch competitions and learning stuff? How have you been able to do that? Natasha,
for me?
you talk about that?
Yeah, well, actually, they come to me. People send them to me. They'll come across my Facebook. So I guess Facebook really is listening. Things will come across my Facebook page, and I'm that type of person. If an opportunity comes, I'm just going to take it just to see if I get it. Like with the New Voices competition. I remember sending that to 40 other business women and nobody else signed up for it. I'm like, come on, guys, I'm sign up for it. Nobody else signed up, and I went there, pitched, and I won $20,000. So I'm like, any opportunity that comes, I'm gonna receive it myself. I'm not gonna be, you never know. Just try it, and I'm gonna also share it with my other, peers. they hope that they can win that opportunity as well. Even with Queen Boss, I remember that came across. I know it was a long shot. I'm like, oh, opportunity to pitch my business on Queen Boss, to be on BT. Let me try it. Sent it out again to all the other women. I signed up, and I was one of 18 women that got to appear on the show. So I'm just saying, anything that comes your way, somebody might send it to me. I might read it. I'm just going to try it, because you never know. You never know. And I've been just, people say that I'm favored. They say it all the time. You're a favorite. Like how? I don't even know how. Nothing but God, because I don't know how. I'm just like, when I tell you, I don't know. A lot of this business, I'm the only, I have no partners. It was a desire of mine. It's me. It's just me. And I run 2 businesses. And sometimes I work part-time. So I'm just like, it's nothing but the favor of God. That's it.
Yeah.
Period. What they say, period. That's what they say.
Yeah, put a T on the end of it.
Yeah, period.
No.
I think we would definitely agree with that one. We actually have a scripture on. I was looking around to make sure I look, because you can't quote the scripture wrong. You had all the Christians.
That's right.
So we actually have a scripture on our wall, and it's Proverbs 18:16, which is, I don't want to misquote. She put it up there. A man's gift. I wanted to say, I really should say a woman's gift, but it's a man's gift will make room for him.
Yeah.
And so that really, for Keisha, it really is a gifting. And I tell people all the time, I'm probably, I'll say one of, because there's a group of cheerleaders now. So I'll say I'm one of the original cheerleaders. And it is truly a gift, and she's very modest. So I get to be
she won't take none of the praise. She just
I get to be, I tend to be a little bit of her ego to help her out with that area, because she's extremely modest. But sometimes I'm telling you, I just was on, and not gonna advertise anybody else's stuff on your stuff, but I was just on something, and they talked about the fact that sometimes you can modest yourself into invisibility. Yeah. So, so she is very modest, but it is a gift. She's never taken any classes. She does not have a culinary background. She did not have a background in food services. Everything, you hit on it, Alicia, everything has been a leap of faith. Natasha, you hit on it. It's about prayer. And I think that this is, without getting too deep, this is one of the most prayer-led women that I have in my life. So that is really how you build that business. You got to build it on that foundation.
No, absolutely.
Come back to your question, even as far as the 10K small business. So that was sent to me as well, right? So I wasn't going to do it. Because, as a business owner, I guess I'm one of the women who Natasha would say she sent it out to. And we're like, we're just too busy. I'm not doing that. I'm going to get these orders out. And especially having, these children. My children are like, they're always there. So, they pulled on me a lot. So with the 10K, I see my mom saw it on the news. She called me. She was like, Keisha, I think this would be good for you. I was like, Mom, okay, I'm going to apply. So I didn't apply. So she called me back next day. She said, Keisha, did you apply? I said, Ma, I'm busy. Kevin is doing this. Kevin, she's like, Keisha, I need you to apply. So I literally, the deadline was like a day or so, like the next day. So I still didn't apply. She called me and said, the deadline is today. I need you to stop what you're doing and apply. And I applied and we went together. And when we went in, Nanette was a part of my interview. And ever since then, we've been really tight. But and I could not believe I got accepted because again, I just, my mom was like pushing me. And so I went with it. But it was like one of the best things that I've ever done. And so I probably need to call my mom after this and say, you know what, Mom, thank you. Thank you for
there you go. You do it on public format. There you go.
You can take this video and send it to your mom. Hello. You gave her your props. No, but I always, I understand what you're saying, both you and Natasha, about the try. Right. And sometimes the try is really difficult, especially when you are a humble individual. You Your cousin said you're a modest individual, both of you. And I always remember this. My dad used to say this to me all the time. God will bless a try. That's how awesome he. So, I mean, for both of you, your tries, those are, you are winning for them. Let me take it back. And I know we have a number. I'm looking at the names of people who are watching, and I can see who's watching you today. And I know that many of them are business owners. During this time of COVID are facing challenges. What are the biggest challenges you face, and how are you overcoming them? And also, if you want to, feel free, tell us how people can support you through those challenges as we go from COVID. None of us planned for COVID. Nobody in January said COVID's coming. So let's plan for COVID. Nobody put that in their business plans. So how talk about that, and even if you want to give a word of encouragement, that's always know what people are seeking.
Well,
Yeah.
Natasha.
Me?
Natasha.
Okay, for myself, I took the month of April off, and I just closed. I closed the cafe. I just closed everything down. And I needed to pray. I needed to ask God, what do I need to do? And during that month, I just restructured the whole business. So we've been thriving. We have been thriving. I have two businesses that one got a contract with Hip Hop Chicken and Fish, Freaking Sweet Jaws, and Blondie's Donuts. She's like expanded into the DMV, and we need more space. So I'm actually getting ready to jump out on faith again. I'm like, Lord, okay, supply this grant money, but we're going to get the place next door to me, and I'm going to put my manufacturers on one side and my commercial kitchen on the other side. So it's just basically just staying prayerful, staying faithful, and just going with the flow. That's how I do it. I just go with the flow. I put it out there. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and just knowing that God gonna take care of it on the other end. So that's basically how I roll. You know, everything is a leap of faith. To this day, everything is a leap of faith.
And the month off the rest, because when you're in your business,
yes,
there are very few vacation days. And
no vacation days. I have a vacation fund box. If anybody want to come into the cafe, we're open Thursday through Saturday from 8:30 to 6. It's a little square box on my calendar to say I need a vacation. Feel free to come drop some dollars in there, because I'm gonna take one day.
See them. They're on their way. I can see them running.
But take one day.
Yes, that's right. Keisha, how about what's been the challenge, and then how have you been overcoming and getting?
Well, for me, it was a little different. Of course, once COVID hit, it gave us all just a moment to pray, and I did. And then that initial feeling of just getting it done kicked in. So of course we weren't open to customers coming in, but we just did free delivery, online orders, and I was swamped on COVID. Like even now when I talk to them, because they all came in. So we were in here working to get orders out via free delivery and online orders. And now that, the store is open again, and we've decided to close BWI, I'm exhausted. Like, of course I'm exhausted mentally, but physically, because I never
She didn't
stopped.
take the break.
I never stopped. And so now I feel, we're still here. We're still, kicking, and, thank God we are not closed. But I never stopped. I heard God and I answered, and we did it. I mean, when I say we were swamped,
because our delivery platform was already in place. So we didn't have to adjust to delivery. Our delivery platform was already there. We were already on, Groupon and Grubhub and a few others that we cut back from. But people already knew that they could order for delivery. What Keisha did, and I laughed because she couldn't sit still, because that's who she is. She simply thought, okay, how do we deliver? How do we make it safe? she came up with a system for making sure that it was contact free and safe, even before they were talking about contact free. She had already worked out, this is how we're going to deliver it. And so that we could continue. And I think also because we were family, we could take cuts in salary, we could be still, we did those things to support the business, so that it didn't affect our bottom line too much. But it's ugly.
And then I just wanted, even offering free delivery, I just wanted our customers to be able to, of course, they're home, but I wanted them to be able to enjoy our product. So if that meant we offer free delivery, we're going to offer free delivery, and even now we have free delivery. We talked about, okay, so maybe we should, have a fee for delivery, but I decided just to say thank you and to continue just to show our customers how appreciative we are. We kept the free delivery. So if you're in a certain area, it's going to come for free. We want our customers to be able to enjoy our product with any restrictions. If you can't get here, we're going to get the product to you. And, we just love our customers. We love the support. We love that they love our product. We love the love that's here. We just love every day on things. So we want to make sure that they are going to get the biggest
challenge was not seeing folks in the store. That was awkward for us because we do, I'm sure Natasha, you have the same thing where you have that interaction with your customers. That was the biggest, that was the saddest part. It was like we didn't see our customers.
It was. I remember videotaping a customer, a guy and his daughter. They were just walking by. We were making berries. And he was like, well, can I just buy some? I know you're not open. So I actually had to serve him out the door. And he and his daughter ate the berries. And I put it on Facebook. I was like, oh my goodness, this is breaking my heart to have them outside eating the strawberries. They were enjoying it. I felt it more than they felt it. They were enjoying their treat outside the door. But it was just unusual. It wasn't the same. That interaction, you feed off of that. Your customers feed. We have like great customer service. We pride ourselves on customer service and of course our product. So not to be able to display that, that act of service for our customers, it took a toll on us all.
No, and I can tell you as a consumer, like not getting to see people who, I'm telling you, your spirits and the way your products are amazing, but it's more than the product. It's the whole.
And that's why I was telling you I couldn't do what I couldn't do. Because a lot of times they want to come in, and if I am in the back, they want to talk to me. They want to see me.
That's
They're
right.
only allowed 3 in the store at one time, and that's what I was talking about right there.
No, I get you. People wanting to be in proximity, and you crave being around good people, and good people. That's why they're coming in. So I have a good news. So we were able to get Jack Dorsey. He's the owner of Twitter. We got Oprah and Jeff Bezos. I'm just kidding. We do. We're going to send this to them. We got them on. And so what we want to do is to give them real practical advice about how they sit at tables and they are in rooms that we have not entered yet. How can they, when they're in those rooms, ensure that we're supporting businesses like Natasha's Brittle and Berries by Keisha, that we're ensuring that the next business is thriving, but also those who are beside you. So can you give them some advice on how to just impact the marketplace to ensure that businesses like yours that really, I think, are the heartbeat of our city are thriving? Start with you, Natasha, and then keep.
I know in 2018, I actually was called by one of the producers to submit a sample from one of the people, the
Oprah.
Call them. Yeah, in 2018 they called and asked me for a sample, but it didn't get chosen, Oprah, and it was good. I hope you tasted it. But anyway, I would love for Oprah to do something, a list from Baltimore. I would love that. Some balls, because so I would love to see something like that. Her shouting out just a list from Baltimore businesses. I would love that. Not Baltimore, but Maryland, period. Just come on, Oprah. You can do it.
You can do it.
Come
you
on.
Can do it. Keisha, what do you
That's something
say?
Hey, we pop up at Oprah's studio. She give us the opportunity to all go pop up and sell to her audience and sell to her friends. And I feel like if we are able to go there and really present not just our product but ourselves on that type of platform, I mean, that would just be so helpful. And just give different businesses like a business a month, actually have us to come in and present our product. I mean, of course, we all love Oprah's favorite list, so we would naturally be on the list, I'm imagining. But we would go and we would pop up and we would have a chance to just introduce our product and engage with her on a different level, engage with her audience on a different level. I think that would be helpful.
Unfortunately, that's what we're doing here with Entrepreneurship Matters. We're trying to give you the access.
Absolutely. Right.
So you can engage with a whole host of other people. But yeah, no, it's interesting. We've had entrepreneurs on here every week. And all the entrepreneurs, it's so interesting, talk about access to the marketplace. They don't asking for anything other than the access to the marketplace. And I think that's so vitally important. I mentioned Jack Dorsey. I never mentioned him before. He's the owner of Twitter. But not many people know this. The day after Juneteenth, he actually gave to everyone who's like a Twitter person, like myself, money to spend with Black businesses, which I thought was admirable as a business owner, but agreed, access to the platform. So let me ask you both, and then I'm gonna get into the questions. I've realized I'm gonna run out of time. I've been too enthralled in this conversation, but what is a long-term vision for the business? What have we, and then, Natasha, you talked a little bit about it, the expansion next door. I mean, that's huge when you talk about footprint. Keisha, I know about you about to take over Baltimore with the berries. So tell a little bit about what's next. What's the vision for the business? Natasha, and then I'll go to Keisha.
Okay, so for myself, my long-term goal is to be a manufacturer for small businesses, creating anywhere from 500 to 30,000 units, because I'm just for the underdog, in those larger manufacturing places that co-pack and everything, they will not entertain a phone call if you're not putting out a certain number of product. Like I think it's 100,000 units. So if you're not doing that, where does that leave a small business like me? So what my practice will be is the expansion. I'm going to be really just focusing on manufacturing only. I have to hire a new kitchen manager. I have to hire an assistant production manager because I start the Goldman Sachs in January. So I'm going to be taking on a lot and renovating the facility in January and February and hopefully opening in March. So I'm going to be doing a lot, and I got to kind of let go some, I kind of got to delegate some things, but that's my practice. That's going to be my practice, to have that future manufacturing facility where I can help other small businesses be big businesses. So that's my goal.
You're gonna be a blessing. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, our goal is to ship nationwide. Like that's our goal. We've been working on it now for a little while. We haven't mastered it, having an extremely perishable product with various toppings, and not only do they taste good, but they look good. We wanted to arrive to the customer looking good. So that has definitely been a hurdle and a challenge. And we get so many. We just got a call from Hopkins, and they wanted to ship like 20 dozen, but we couldn't take it because we just don't ship. And it's it sounds easy, like just ship the berries, but my biggest thing, and I tell everyone, is reviews. Like I don't want bad reviews. So if we cannot guarantee that our berries are gonna arrive in Texas and California the way that they arrive throughout Maryland, then we're gonna just wait until we're able to perfect it. So that's our goal, that's our vision, and God willing, soon we'll be able to say, we're shipping nationwide. We've mastered shipping nationwide.
That's so smart for you. Go ahead, Monica. You have something else?
I'm sorry, Alicia.
Yeah,
Monica was.
I'm whispering something else in her ear that is also a part of her vision, which is to mentor young women to have their own businesses. And we actually did that this summer and last summer. So it's been 2 summers that we've had interns here at Berries by LaQuicha and teaching them, how businesses grow. They were very much a part of our transition to BWI.
Yeah.
So that's also part of the vision that she has.
And if I must say, we have two young women, girls, who works here, who have branched out and started their own business. One does balloons, the other makes jewelry. True. And so they learn.
You had to feature them on Entrepreneurship Matters.
Yes,
I would love to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that, and Monica is absolutely right. Like, that is definitely a passion of mine. Like I said, I was a problem child, and I had all of this support. So I want to be that support. Like, that's definitely my passion. And when they come, I don't just teach them about selling berries. I teach them about the customer. Like, let's just, whether you're selling berries, whether you're doing balloons, whether you're doing jewelry, whatever, the customer is your main focus. You want to make sure that they are good, they're satisfied. And of course you want to have a good product, because we've talked about that too. But you want to make sure that you are being of service. You're offering something that they want and something that they will return to get. So yes, this is definitely a mentoring / berry facility, because I just can't help it. I just can't. It is who I am.
Excellent. Excellent. Both of you. Let me get to these questions. So there's so many of them coming in from the chat. So a couple of people just talk about what a blessing, and they're so proud of you. We also, someone asked about, can we share the links to where they can purchase products? Yes, we shared them in the chat in Zoom, but we also have shared them on Facebook, and you also will get to watch this, which you'll be able to see their products. And watch this 10 times if you want to see all about their products and where to buy from you. Let me ask this question. One, people thank both of you for being transparent and giving your testimonies. Another comment, ladies, you're an inspiration. I love the family affair. As a Black community, we need to get back to making family the basis of everything we do. It's beautiful.
That's right.
Someone said, I absolutely love how God is the main ingredient in both of your businesses. Someone texted in, we have our call-ins, keep praising him. He is awesome. Jesus is the main ingredient. You both have brick and mortar. Oh, this is a question. You both have brick and mortar shops. How has COVID impacted your business plan? You talked a little bit about that, but have you really thought differently about the brick and mortar of your shop, Keisha? I know you have talked about expansion, contraction. Can you talk about that? And then Natasha?
Yes. So I have to acknowledge this. We received a $10,000 grant from a company in Chicago. I don't remember applying for the grant. All I know is that I received an email saying that I was a recipient of the grant. The grant was supposed to be, I think, like $1,000.
Yeah, the grant was supposed to be $1,500. So I'm gonna tell this story.
No, hold on, wait. She can help. This story is amazing. It's really near and dear to us.
So she will tell it. Okay.
So it was she gonna add on, because I promise you so it was $1,500. I don't remember applying for the grant, but I did see that we were going to receive it. We were doing a girls' weekend, right? And so everybody, all my friends know, Berries by LaQuicha somehow is going to be involved in some way, or no matter what event it is, I just can't help it. So we were on our way out of town. Monica, myself, and all my girlfriends, we were in a van on our way out of town. I get a phone call from the lady who gave us the grant. I'm gonna forget her name, but she's a sweetheart in Chicago. She said, I'm on my way to you now, right? And I said to her,
she's on her way to you in Baltimore?
Yeah. And she's from Chicago. And she told me that somebody would connect with me here, and give me a time to meet them or whatever. But she calls me, she's like, it's me. I'm here. I'm getting off the plane and I'm on my way to you. Now, mind you, the check was supposed to be $1,500. So I'm gonna call my girl, because I'm like, look, I know y'all, I'm driving, right? So that means I have control over the whole vehicle. So I'm driving and I'm like, okay. change of plans. I know we're already a little bit late. We're going to just be a little later. And I promise you, I will treat y'all to lunch. You know, it'll be fine. So I said, we have to run back to the shop for the check.
Pre-COVID, right? This is pre-COVID, right?
I know.
Illegal U-turn.
We was on the highway, so it wasn't illegal, but we were on our way. So I said, okay, we're going to turn around for this $1,500 check. I promise you, I'm treat y'all lunch. So we get back here, a whole van. Mind you, we have suitcases, you know, all these things. So she comes in and she has her husband with her, and she's like, you know, I'm so sorry to interrupt your trip. And I was like, no worries. You know, I appreciate the grant, and my friends, they understand. So we get in here. She presents us with the $1,500 check. She says to me, Keisha, it's just something about you, and I'm going to rip this check up, right? And she rips the check up. So now, mind you, it's everybody. We're all here looking. She rips the check up, and she proceeds to write the check for $10,000.
Whoa.
When I tell you, I just couldn't, of course, I just thank God right away. And I cried so many ugly tears. Like, I didn't even really want to share the photos because it was so,
you can make me cry. Shoot.
It was so ugly. But I say all this to say, you have to be prepared to answer God when he calls you. Yes, we were on our way to have fun. And it was a lot, right? But they know my sisters, my friends, my cousins, they all know, they know me. And somebody might say, I'm not turning around for $1,500, but I was so grateful and so thankful for that $1,500 during COVID where the business was closed.
Yeah.
The business was closed, that I turned around, and just for her to, you know, to just write that check.
Tenfold. Lord have mercy.
It was tenfold.
Tenfold, baby.
For her to write that check, and to know it was at a time where we were just questioning everything, and just to have the support of my family and my friends, like, and her, it was just like a moment that I'll never forget. You know, that just is part of my testimony. You just trust God, and no matter what or how it feels, you just go with it. Like, yes, we were on our way on vacation, a much needed break, but I answered that call, and it was a $10,000 call,
and it paid for the rent for this brick and mortar. To answer your question, Alicia, so that's how we did it. That's how we did it. It was during COVID, and God literally said, "Here's the rent money."
He did.
There you go.
Because they weren't putting holds on.
I know.
Yeah, they weren't putting moratoriums. They weren't putting moratoriums on vendor rent.
Wow.
Okay.
They sure weren't.
Just a break on that.
No. That gives me chills. It really gives me chills.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. No. Wow. What a blessing. You got somebody got to go in the back and find this woman's name. We got to lift her up.
I can tell you her name. I still have the check in my wallet, so hold on for 1 second.
All right, don't worry. I'm going to ask Natasha the same question. Natasha, how has COVID treated you? How have you been undergoing, and with the brick and mortar aspect of your business in particular?
Well, with the brick and mortar part, just making some changes as far as the number of customers we allow in, and my cleaning schedule. I know the staff, they hate my cleaning schedule. We got to be clean every hour on the hour. So I just like it clean, sanitized. But just basically, we're picking up like the delivery, just things like that. It's basically, we just pushing forward with business. It's minor hiccups, but I love cleaning anyway, so it just gives me an excuse to clean more. So you ADHD or something. OCD,
no, I appreciate going into a candy shop that's clean. That's it.
Yes. And my kitchen, you know, everybody that comes in my kitchen. And I used to get offended. They come in and this kitchen is clean. I'm like, well, it's a kitchen. How it's supposed to look? They said, you don't understand. You haven't been to other kitchens there, huh? We keep a clean kitchen.
No, I know. Keisha, you got the check?
Keisha.
I saw put the check. Don't put the woman.
Bring the phone to you.
All right, so I'm sorry, y'all. We have the store and got busy, but so it came from the Black Chamber Commerce in Chicago. And her name,
Amazing.
I can't figure out her signature, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I can figure out. But it came from them. Like it came from them. Do you remember her name? So I had to check, but her signature is.
Well, don't worry, we'll find her. Black Chamber of Commerce of Chicago.
It was Audrey.
It
wasn't Audrey. It wasn't Audrey. It began with an A. I can find. I actually, Sharon Butler knows her. So okay. I will ask Sharon, because Sharon
we have to lift her up. That's important, to lift up the people that are helping folks.
Absolutely. I mean, it was just such a and then of course I gave her strawberries and a shirt, and they were like, look, it's not like Keisha to receive a gift and not give something. I just had to give her berries. I had to give her a shirt. It wouldn't be us, it wouldn't be us if we didn't bless her with our product. Like, we sell berries.
That's right. So someone asked this question. Both of you sell online? Natasha,
she said online. You cutting out a little bit. Say it again.
Do you sell online as well?
Yes, ma'am.
So someone said they wanted to start an online school, but they're terrified. How'd you get over the terror of starting an online school?
That's basically where I started. I started online because to me that was like no storefront, no cost, and now you have Facebook and Instagram driving sales to your online store. Just do it. Find someone that can set you up a website. I never suggest doing anything that you're not good at doing. So if you're not designed to do websites, find someone to do that website, because that initial appearance to me makes a difference. So find someone to set your website up and just do it. It can be simple. It can be a couple of items that you sell, but you got to get it going to see what's going to happen. Just do it.
Yes. How about you, Keisha?
Well, I set up my own website actually, and I'm the kind of different. I take a different approach than Natasha. I promise y'all, I think I can do everything. Like I really do. I feel like if I sit and I think about it, I'm gonna learn. So I did my own website initially. Now I love my website, and I did not do it. So Natasha, you're right. It was nothing compared to how it is now. But initially, because you are on a budget, you're thinking about the cost of the website. But I created my own logo. Even it got so bad when people would say, send me your logo. And I'm like, oh, well, it was just created like on a PowerPoint. So I don't have a JPEG of this or that. I don't know. So I created it all. I think that creating a website yourself just to start is not a bad idea. First of all, you'll learn how to do it. Once you generate enough revenue to pay, because they can get pretty pricey. Once you generate enough revenue, I would say, take it to the next level. We've actually had our website done now 3 times. So the third one was, it was, and I love it now, but it wasn't cheap. So I would say take that time, learn, learn, and then also, I just feel like if you touch it, it does something, special. So, I would say do it. Don't be afraid, because running an online e-commerce is much easier than a retail space. First of all, you operate on your own terms. Having a brick and mortar, you have to be here at 10. You don't close. Well, before you don't close until 7. You have to make sure that it's always presentable. It's always clean. The product is always there. It's a different monster having a retail. So starting online is the easiest way to do it. And I would just say, like Natasha said, with social media now, it's, you can advertise yourself and send a link out, run specials, get promo codes. I mean, it's a lot easier to do online. And it doesn't have to cost you so much to get started.
Yeah. Yeah. People, we're gonna close out. I ran out of time. I promise you. Y'all got it. Yeah, and we got an extra guest with Monica, because I'm gonna give y'all time to tell people how to buy from y'all. So that's why I'm about to wrap. But let me give you the last comment. What someone said: thank you both for sharing your incredible stories. It takes grit to be an entrepreneur and manage a business. In 2020, has presented a series of complications. And so I'm going to say to you all to take care of yourselves as you continue to take care of others. Let me ask you both, tell us how people can buy Brittle from the top.
Okay, Brittle. Okay, so our physical location is located at 6615 Harford Road. If you guys are familiar with Valentino's, I'm on the same side, same block, in the middle of the block. It's Natasha's Just Brittle, be more made with pride. You can purchase Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 8:30 to 6. Sundays, 8:30 to noon only, because I have another company that uses the facility after that. Or you can go online, www.justbrittles.com. Online is open 24/7. Now, you can order online and have it shipped to you, or you can order online and pick it up from my shop. So that's how you order from Natasha's Just Brittle.
And you can get Natasha on every social media. It's Natasha's Brittle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, right?
Yes.
Yep. And how about Keisha? How do we get in contact with you buying berries?
So you can visit our retail location in Federal Hill, 920 Light Street. Of course, our website, Berries by Keisha. Keisha is spelled very unique. QUITHA.com. That Berries by Keisha. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and they're all connected to the website. So if from Instagram, if you click the link, it'll take you to the website to purchase. And Facebook, if you click the link, it'll take you to the website to purchase.
She's a branding queen.
She's a branding queen. I know she is.
Yes.
First of all, let me thank all of you. Let me thank you, Natasha, you, Keisha, Monica. We're so glad to have you. Glad you came, and your cousin Joyce. We're grateful for all of you. Please shop at these businesses. They are amazing. Let me give a couple of announcements that we're going to close out. We're going to do this again next week. Next week on December 10th, it's going to be all about cleaning. Everybody's thinking about cleaning. Few amazing entrepreneurs in Baltimore that have cleaning businesses. Charles Eddington with Priority Cleaning and Leslie Rashid with D&L Cleanup. So don't miss that. Please follow us on JH Connects on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Email us feedback. Also, other businesses at jhconnects@jhu.edu. Let me thank our partners, which have been Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Health System, Hopkins Local, the Mayor's Office of Small Minority Women-Owned Business, the Warnock Foundation, and thankfully Goldman Sachs 10KSB as well. So thank you both, and you both have a wonderful day. Thanks everybody for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Bye.